Welcome back, good people of St. Anne's. Omni Via 16. Wow.
My birthday is December 16th.
Okay.
That's the only thing I have with 16.
16. It's kind of an...
But we're getting up there.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird number. Not, sweet 16. I guess
No, I know.
16,
yeah.
But that's even not... Okay.
But that's 16 times. You guys are...
16
My
times.
chair's awkward here.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah, the rug's,
It happens.
The rug's a little...
We just washed them.
They look good. They look good. For all of you, watching or listening at home, two very nice rugs. One circular, one rectangular. They look very nice.
I had to get ready for the 4th, and so I hope your 4th was a good one.
Yeah.
250.
250. That's crazy. You want to talk about? I hope we're doing this 250 episodes.
Did you? I think I.
Years.
So I was watching TV. I think I saw you. Did you shake Trump's hand?
Did not shake Trump's hand.
Okay.
Medora. No, I was gone. That's why we missed a week of the podcast.
Oh yes. Yeah. So thanks for your wait. We take a week off. Yeah. Luke's. What beach were you at?
I actually. That's funny you say. I was out of town for a wedding, but we did go to the beach because it was in Seattle, and we visited Portland and went to the beach.
Was it Maui or Kona? No.
No, it was.
Seattle.
It was freezing cold water. Is what it was. But did that stop us?
Portland.
Did that stop us from boogie boarding? Absolutely.
No.
It was great.
Good for you.
Yep.
And what were you doing out there?
I was there for a wedding. Yeah.
Awesome.
So a student that I worked with in my time with Focus
so
got
good.
married, asked me to be a groomsman. Yeah. Good stuff. So
great.
But you mentioned 4th of July, 250 years.
Best.
So,
Love it.
Ventus for this week is your top 7 favorite things about being American. You got 250 years that you can choose from. Top 7.
7. Okay. Well, the luxuries of America.
Yeah.
So, washer, dryer, toilet indoors, heat and cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely number 1 by far.
Central air conditioning.
Yeah, totally. Number 2, the ease of gas. Sometimes you'll get on the internet, there's weird, horrible dramatic lines in different parts of the world of waiting for gas.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking Africa. I'm talking civilized Germany and France. First world countries. So ease of gas.
Wow. Yep.
Ease of groceries.
Okay, yeah.
If I can just keep going on that line. I do this is probably part of North Dakota, maybe more than America, but I like 4 full seasons.
Yeah.
And most of our country does have that.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Some of the coastlines don't, but most of us had 4 seasons.
Yep.
And so what I like about that is that it matches the church's year well. So
Yep.
Christmas is cold.
Yep.
Right? Easter is blooming.
Yeah.
Yeah, rather than sunny and 77, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's nice that America's in the northern hemisphere because that line.
There you go. I was looking for the science behind it. Yeah, that's 4.
Well, so the curvature of the earth.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I do appreciate, I think, the ease of travel, right? Now it has its ups and downs, but the road system in America is really great.
Yeah.
So summer construction is not pleasant, but it's worth it because you can drive everywhere.
Right. But even that, you rarely are stopped for that long for construction. It's down to 1 lane, maybe it gets a little traffic.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's a good point.
Number 6, I would say this past weekend, right? The ability in a civic way. I love the 4th of July. I was just sharing this, Luke, with a parishioner of how, or maybe a server at Mass. The 4th of July, everybody has this inclination to be with others.
Yeah.
It's such a family holiday.
It really is.
And everybody's in a good mood.
Yeah.
Right? So there's just a lot of that this past weekend. And then number 7, I would say, maybe this is a unique one, is we're still forming, we're still young. So although we don't have the old buildings, the old churches of of Europe or of Italy, of France, Germany, we get to see us develop.
Yeah.
And so there's the hardship of our governments everywhere. But there's also a beauty of I'm a part of it.
Yeah.
Because 250 is young.
Yeah, comparatively.
So that's it.
Yeah, it's young and kind of also in a nice sweet spot. I was watching the World Cup and the U.S. Beat Bosnia Herzegovina.
Wait, when did that? What's the World Cup?
Yeah, it's soccer. It's
Kidding.
There's this ball and you use your feet, try to put in a big goal.
Brown.
Yeah,
brown with laces on it.
No.
That's golf.
That's golf. Yeah.
That's right. Okay.
But Bosnia, this country is 30 years old. It came out of the dissolution of the Yugoslavia. So it's there's a too young where you're wow, we're still trying to even figure out what culture and identity looks like.
Sure.
But for America to be we've come through a lot. That's great. One thing you didn't mention that I think should be mentioned: ranch dressing. It's got to be in there.
Ranch.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a honey mustard guy.
That's fair.
Yeah, I always have been.
I think just in the one thing I would add is I do think I've been seeing a lot. It's like because so many people are coming here for the World Cup, like from other countries, a lot of people are just realizing like, okay, America, like they do food pretty good. like yeah, Italian pizza is a thing, but like American pizza.
No, and isn't it funny? The priests are the worst, right? Like we have all these menu, like right, these recipes of like fancy food, and I'm like, the hell with that. Yeah. Like burgers, brats, chili, lasagna. Like, come on, it's so good.
What I've heard is basically like we didn't invent food, but we've perfected it.
Yeah,
it's fast, it's cheap, it's greasy, it's cheesy. Like it's just anyway. So. But yes, it's great. I mean, we are afforded many blessings in our country, despite some of the issues, but like overall.
So you got it. So I have an idea for today.
Yes,
Luke, you were away.
I was away
at a wedding.
And
so I was thinking that I don't want this to be custom, but for this Monday, right, this Omni Via, I would suggest maybe we could take weddings.
Yeah.
As a topic and just make it hot topic the whole time, sizzling.
Just turn it straight to high.
So we have like 2 halves of one hot topic on weddings. And the first half, this is my proposal.
Yep.
Hit it or don't hit it. My proposal is we do the separated brethren one.
Yeah.
So right, so like one side's entirely not Catholic.
Right. Yep.
Or I'm sure you have some stories where maybe like the bridal party, right? So I think that'd be really helpful if we could offer maybe just some prudence, some like insight, or just talk about it. And let you decide. And then we come back and talk about the whole moral issue.
Yeah.
Right? So my children are living together. My son left the church.
Right.
My son's marrying another son.
Right, yeah.
So I think that is maybe for a older crowd. So just to give parents a heads up. But I think both separated, so non-Catholic weddings. And then when there's a moral barrier that's objective.
Yep.
Right? So after you taste the delicious water,
how could we forget?
We should break, and I think we should do that.
Yeah, I think that's good.
What do you think?
Because it's wedding season. Weddings are always a hot topic because you're just bringing together so many different people,
random people,
over this really important day.
That's right. Yeah, well said.
We could do a whole episode on wedding traditions that I still don't understand, but we continue to do. Maybe toss, guard, the little whatever that thing.
Oh, I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, I'm sorry about it. All right, here we go. There's an ice cube in it. Thank you, Father. I appreciate it.
You'll never guess. He won't. And the flavor is... I forgot. No, it's in my mind. It's 2 words.
It's really good.
You don't deserve that hint.
It's really good.
You got it.
It's some kind of berry involved.
2 fruits together.
Okay, one of them's a berry. Hold on, let me get another taste.
I neither affirmed nor denied that. You can't guess twice. We call that cheating in the Catholic Church.
Gotta make sure it rolls down the back of the tongue.
I'm getting jealous. So
I'm gonna go raspberry. Oh, would pair with a raspberry.
Bubbly waters never pair. They grab like 2 opposite cups. Have you ever realized that? It's like, why do you put these 2 fruits together?
It's all just so you see it and you go, really? Those 2? All right.
That's why I bought it.
Raspberry. I can't think of any. Raspberry mango.
Go away. It's blackberry mango.
That was close. Dang. That's the closest I've been.
That was close. I'm so expressive now. That was. I was like, there's no way he's gonna say mango.
I didn't. To be fair, I did not taste mango. I was like, what's the weirdest thing that you could pair?
All right, we're gonna be back on the most lame Omni Via today. We talked about water. It is blackberry mango.
Blackberry mango.
He said raspberry mango. He's wrong.
That's wrong. But I was close.
You were really close.
Right.
Who says mango? Have you had a mango before? I've never had a mango.
I've had mango flavored things, but not just a straight mango.
We'll be back with weddings. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you watch it. Hopefully on Monday, but maybe not. We drop it at midnight. Episode 16, Omni Via, Luke, Hellwig, and fellow Hochhalter. We're happy to be back to you 16 strong, a lot going on, not just Independence Day. Ordained a priest in the diocese. He's coming here. Father Colton Steiner, can't wait to have him at the parish. You'll see him sometime around. I'm not exactly sure when. Okay, there we go.
He'll be around. He'll be around. You'll see him.
He is going to be on, but just not yet. But what I want to get to, okay,
we need a third chair. Anyone out there got an extra chair in their house?
That was Father Steiner in the flesh. A great priest and really a blessing to have him. So I think we could develop that kind of a good topic there. But I want to get to today's hot topic, which is weddings. And then Luke, you were just at one. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it was.
How was it?
It was great. So, I mean, one, you mentioned like America Public Transit. We took the train out to Portland. Which was
great.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was good. We're in Portland for a little bit visiting an old friend. Then we went up to Seattle for the wedding. And yeah, good friend of mine, a former student who converted to Catholicism. So you mentioned separated brethren. His whole side of the family, Protestant. Right?
Still. He's Catholic.
He's Catholic, very Catholic.
Bride
is Catholic. But she was, I think, had fallen away, had come back to the church. So there was a lot on both sides, a lot of just non-Catholics or non-practicing Catholics. So I think it's a great topic because I think they did a really good job they did the full mass, right? So again, you know this, but maybe not everyone does. You don't have to do a mass with your wedding. You can have a very Catholic wedding without the mass. They opted to go full mass because they wanted to just invite people into the fullness of that. But it was, you just run into a lot of little things. Like at one point they're explaining the wedding and the couple had chosen to do the Eucharist under both species. And so the lady's saying that, and one of the groomsmen leans over and goes, "Can you guys translate that?" Because he didn't know what both species, what does that mean? You know, it's kind of weird language. So so there were 7 groomsmen, myself and one other were Catholic. All the other groomsmen, the other 5 were Protestant. Most of his side Protestant. So it is a tricky thing because you want to do it well, but there's not a lot of time built into the rehearsal and the rehearsal dinner and to like actually teach and educate. So you kind of just have to hope that people pick up on it. There was a point during the mass where because they were doing incense, and my son Max did the incense. So he comes to the people and has them stand to incense them, and I'm the only one standing, and I had to turn around and go, "Everybody stand up!"
This is great. This just happened to you.
It did, yeah. So it was funny, but it brought up a lot of really good questions, and so one of them, and so maybe this could be a launching point to what you want to say is one of the groom's sisters, when they were explaining that, if you're not Catholic, we ask that you just come up and receive a blessing. She asked, "So do you not want us to receive because you don't think we're saved?" Which I'd never heard that asked before. It's like people maybe are a little annoyed that they can't receive or don't understand why not, but that was kind of a bigger question. And again, it led to some great discussion of like, no, of course not. It's not that we don't think that you're saved as a non-Catholic. It's just that we believe that this expression of the Eucharist is something so much more than just a symbol. And in some sense, it's actually for the non-Catholics that we say, hey, like, if you come up and receive, like, you're proclaiming something that you don't believe. Because not only do you not believe it's the body and blood,
that's really well
divinity,
said.
but also for Catholics, since it's our source and summit, every time we receive, we're also reaffirming our belief in the whole church.
Very good.
And so it's less about them and us being like, "Oh, no, you can't have it." And it's more like, "Hey, look, like, you don't want this because you're in a sense like receiving a lie. You don't maybe know that but like how do you say that?" And you definitely don't have time during the mass to announce all of that. So I'll turn it over to you, Father. Like, how do we wrestle with this?
No, I think just the way you developed that, Luke, was really helpful for our audience this morning or this afternoon, and even just in terms of discussion points, right? Because what I find, in working with couples, so there's 2 Catholic weddings, only 2 Catholic weddings, only 2 Catholic weddings. There's a Catholic wedding without a nuptial mass and one with a nuptial mass. One does not make it more a marriage.
Yeah.
Right? So it's the expression of it. And of course, when there's a nuptial mass, we can say it's a higher expression. Well, of course it is, right? In the same way that a tenderloin steak is a higher expression of beef than a smash burger, right? I just had a smash burger last week. It was really good.
Yeah.
But away from the natural metaphors, in both cases, there isn't degrees of a sacrament. Mm-hmm. But Luke, the way you were narrating your time out west for the wedding, I find it, with couples to really go after this. Yes. So on one hand, when you do things for the non-Catholics, yes, you may put them in a place of like isolation, alienation, lack of familiarity. It's strange. They don't know. But as you said, it also invites them in to learn.
Yeah.
And so when you remove those expressions, right, like let's say if you water it down, then both the Catholic party is disappointed because it's watered down. Mm-hmm. And it's like this false sense of like inclusion.
Yeah.
Well, I'm doing this because his side's not Catholic.
Right.
But then they also don't have an opportunity to walk toward the true, good, and beautiful.
Yeah.
So I think every case is different, and the church actually teaches us that when there is Catholic, non-Catholic, that we have the decision to make of do we do a mass or do not do a mass. But I think the conversation is really helpful, mm-hmm. right? And at what point, and I just actually had a couple in prep, their wedding is in about a month, it's in August. But this is interesting. So they're both very faithfully Catholic, mm-hmm. born and raised.
Yeah.
Both households are very robust that way, both University of Mary graduates. So the faith is alive by generation.
Yeah.
And we were talking about the size of their worship aid. So they actually like flipped it. They're like, well, because there's such a robust faith in both sides, we're putting all the readings in. We're putting in why we're doing this.
Yeah.
Just to like bring people together in terms of the central mysteries of the wedding. Mm-hmm. And I really appreciated that, right? Because that's true, but there's always going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, if not a lot more, that are not practicing.
Yeah.
So they're Catholics but not practicing, or they're not Catholics at all. And it's a great means to spread the church. Mm-hmm. Because at the end of the day, like, it's like teaching 101. Why do we learn everything we need to know about life in kindergarten? Well, because kindergarten teachers make us feel good.
Yeah. And
you soak up like a sponge. Mm-hmm. Why is junior high so hard? Well, because a lot of junior high teachers just don't make you feel good. Yeah. With all due respect. I'm just saying they don't. That's why physical science is tough and Algebra 1's tough, is because and I'm not saying we get a sucker every time we have a math lesson, mm-hmm. but there's something to that, right? Of like, the heart expands when it's comfortable.
Yeah.
And so I don't know I think we want to come back after the break in terms of like the moral, but when it comes to separated brethren, I just think we need to have intentional conversations about why are we doing what?
Yeah.
And then go from there. But I do like the perspective of let's invite them into what we do, mm-hmm. rather than water it down so they're comfortable.
Yeah.
Right?
100%. And I think too, like a lot of that kind of inviting in needs to happen before the rehearsal dinner, because by that time, bride and groom, that's the last thing on their mind. And I think that's another point I would just make, is that ultimately it's about the two people being married and what they want. And so, yeah, other people might be uncomfortable, but the funny thing with weddings is like, you're gonna get that no matter what, right? Like some couples like to do the cake in the face, and some don't, and some people are like, I can't. What a way to start your marriage, by shoving food in it. It's like, and then people, they didn't shove the cake. So it's like, people are gonna be annoyed at some choice that you make in the wedding anyway.
Right. That's right.
So just like make the choices that will make that day the most memorable for the couple. Mm-hmm. And then all the other kind of stuff, again, will shift itself out. But the one thing I do want to say though is to really nail, whether it's in the worship guide, whether it's during the rehearsal or a priest making the announcement, but explaining the reception of communion.
Yeah.
How to approach and why and why not. Like, mm-hmm. you don't want to over explain, right? But the mass is already longer than usual, so like a few extra minutes to explain this really important part, I think is worth it, to help people understand, like, yeah, hey, this isn't a punishment. This isn't saying like this is just for us, but this is an important expression for us as Catholics, and it's reserved for those that have committed to all that it means to be Catholic. And I think if you nail that well, like all the rest of the parts of Mass can easily be explained over the meal.
Oh yeah.
Because the nuances there. But the Eucharist part, I think we really got to nail that. So I know we need to take a break, but just a quick, and maybe it's not quick, and we have to come back to it. Groomsmen and bridesmaids being Catholic versus non-Catholic. I know that at least in marriage prep, like we were strongly encouraged to make sure that our wedding party was Catholic. Where do you come down on that, Father? What's kind of your recommendation there?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. My recommendation. So I say that, but the polarization of religion will continue to increase, not decrease, even in little Bismarck. And so I say that kind of at the get-go when it's the number conversation, how many can we have, what do they wear? So that practical conversation, and then with regard to the recommendation that they're Catholic, beginning with the maid of honor and best man. And then I recognize when that is said, what's the level of burdensome in them?
Yep.
Because what's most important is the ability of the bridal party, namely the maid of honor and best man. I don't mean to discredit the other party, but they sign, they are the witnesses in the rite. It's very clearly outlined that the two witnesses and myself are what's necessary. That they're in a position to support the faith of the bride and groom.
Yep.
So yeah, that's where a like-mindedness that we're both Catholic is really helpful, and I'll say that. But it's also unhelpful that you do have a whole list of Catholics born and raised, and they're actually not encouraging the faith.
Yeah.
So I use a meeting to flush that out.
Yeah. That's a great point. And
it's just not one line answer. You got to develop it with people.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say there are plenty of Protestants out there that are holier than a lot of Catholics. And plenty of Catholics that are holier than a lot of simply being Catholic does not elevate your holiness in any way. But to your point, again, with everything we've kind of talked about in the brethren, is the point is that this is an important day for the bride and groom. It's a sacrament, and so who are we being intentional about the people that we're inviting to witness with us alongside us that day, and we'll be intentional about how we're inviting people to experience that day. Again, while not putting so much emphasis on it that the bride and groom lose track of why they're there. So, good stuff. All right, let's take a break. All right, welcome back. Okay, so now, United of Brethren.
It's hot in here.
Now we're getting
hot topic.
So
weddings.
Basically, the premise is I get invited to a wedding, and it's either someone who I know is Catholic who's not doing a Catholic wedding. Or maybe it is people who are Catholic who aren't living out the Catholic faith in such a way, or it's a non-traditional wedding. What is my moral obligation as a Catholic to either attend or not attend? Father, I'm not answering. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So in terms of, so can you put it more simply? If you're invited to a wedding, and so we're talking at the moral side now.
Yep.
Their behavior would cause suspect. So if neither of them are Catholic, and you're invited because you're a college football teammate, or like you work together, right? So it's removed. You don't share a genetic code. I think go support it, go enjoy it, right? And this gets back to like episode 2 or 3, Luke.
Yeah.
Like sometimes we think, so the context has to be right for me to like go in and live my faith.
Yeah.
That's horribly false.
Yeah.
Like this, when you're invited to a strange wedding, like neither are Catholic, and you know that, or you just don't know the religious backgrounds of it because if it's a coworker or you just don't have that, well, just go and be yourself.
Yeah.
It's a glorious way, like something as simple as going like this before you eat your taco.
Yeah.
Right? When you're having a spirit at the bar and you bring up just kind of like spontaneously about, the last wedding I was at, it was a beautiful church, and are you Catholic?
Yeah, exactly.
There's like 101. So this idea of like, well, because I don't know the context, then I I go into the wedding and I'm not who I am, really is a discredit to who you are and really to the faith you have.
Yep.
So I think that's number one, is like when there's like no knowledge of the couple, just go and be who you are.
Yep.
Number two, when there is a clear moral disorder, so yeah, we can just cut to it, right? So like in terms of an outdoor wedding that was not approved by the local bishop.
Yep.
So ask that question. It's not hard. Text the question to whoever you're like, if you're friends with the mother of the groom or the father of the bride, whatever it might be. Hey, if you know it's outside and they're Catholic, so it has to be inside, but there are very extraordinary circumstances where the bishops say they can get married here.
Yep.
Ask the question. If they don't know the answer, then it clearly is not approved, because that route for episcopal approval is really loud.
You would know.
They would know immediately.
Yep.
And then I would say this, like with regard to the gay marriage question, you're invited to a wedding, quote unquote, of two men or two women. And here's the separation. Mom and dad, call me, email me, let's sit down.
Yeah. Yep.
Everybody else. Okay, so let's say mom and dad and siblings, call me.
Yep.
Everybody else, aunts, uncles, third cousin once removed. I was their favorite McDonald's Big Mac server. I studied geometry with them, whatever it was. I coached them, okay? Everybody else, I think you need to make a decision of, me going there, am I supporting it or not? Mm-hmm. And I think we need to distinguish between going to the wedding ceremony, taking part in the ritual by saying the responses, you're taking part, and two, joining in the celebration of the reception. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. So those things matter, because when you go to the reception, are you supporting the wedding? Not necessarily, because you didn't pay to get there.
Right.
It's a gift you freely received of like the open bar or the open rite.
Yeah.
So there's things you can do. Like, okay, I'm not going to buy a drink there. Okay, good.
Yeah.
But in terms of like, you don't buy your way to that wedding. And so going to the celebration, I think there's room to like discuss that. But if it's heavy on your heart, then I wouldn't go. Mm-hmm. Right. So that's the hot topic, is like everybody else. I think our faith calls us not to go to that, because it's, especially if they're using the language of marriage,
right. Yep.
covenant,
yep.
right? So if they're using language that's not theirs, you didn't make up that language, the courts didn't make up that language. It was divine revelation through scripture that gave us words like covenant. That marriage actually belongs to nature. It doesn't belong to the courts. So God gave us marriage. Yeah. That I think we do have a responsibility that when there's not the parent-sibling connection, we recognize, I'm not going to go to this because I don't want to support something I don't think is true.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember.
I hope that's helpful.
Yeah. And I think it is. I mean, gosh, it is hard, because like when there's feelings involved, right, then that's where you get, a lot. And I think too, like our own disposition matters, right? If you're like, ooh, I'm definitely not going to this wedding so I can show everyone how Catholic I am. Yeah. It's like, okay, that's maybe not the right spirit.
Yeah, there's no room for that.
I do remember, early in Sarah and I's marriage, my cousin got married in a backyard, and it was literally just the family. And so I was there, but like I knew, like, he was baptized Catholic, my cousin, and it just was really hard, because I the whole time I was just like, I'm so uncomfortable, and I'm here, and because I'm here, I'm in some small way saying like, I'm good with this, and yeah, it's just like I don't know what I could have done, because it was like, again, we were all there for like a family gathering, and then it was like, oh, and then we're gonna do the wedding, and then like we're gonna go back to the family gathering. So it was just this weird situation, but especially I remember there was a point at which their friend, who got an online certificate to say a wedding, said, we're here today, not because of any like religion or institution or whatever, but because of like the power of these two people's love. And I just remember in that moment thinking like, yeah, that's not enough
it's not true.
Yeah, to bind two people forever. And it was really hard. And it's since then I've been a lot more sensitive to like, okay, I need to be prepared or have better knowledge of the wedding that I'm being invited to, because I didn't want to be there.
That's well said. Yeah.
And so I think a lot of what we're saying too is just like, do yourselves a favor. Like, yeah, 10 years later, like no one's going to remember that you didn't go to that wedding.
That's exactly right.
Again, if you're a family member, or like everyone's going to be like, hey, you were the only family member that didn't come talk to Father. But a lot of these other things, it's just like.
That's right.
Sarah and I had a great Catholic wedding. We had like 300 people at our wedding. I don't remember all the people. Like, even my wife would be like, no, you've met them. They were at our wedding. And I was like, I remember very few things about our wedding. I don't even remember what we ate for our dinner, So I think, again, it's these things that we put a lot of attention on and like really hold on to with weddings. And I think from the religious aspect, the moral aspect, who we invite, what we do, the color of our napkins, whatever, 10 years later, 20 years later, you just kind of have to laugh and go like, why did we care so much about so many of the things that we did when it was about the vows and it was about that moment? And so that's what it's about. So if you feel like you can go to a wedding and that exchanging of vows you can support in full conscience, then go. If you don't, and there's some moral ambiguity there, then I like what you said, like skip the ceremony, show up for the celebration, right? Whatever it is, but discernment, you gotta discern.
I would say this too, like on a practical note, and then I know I gotta end, Luke. But to your point of like having the knowledge of them, I think in the pastoral side, like what we run into, and I'm sure in Focus, I know you did.
Yeah.
It's this whole idea of like, but I was like, I'm his godfather, and like I was the one that took him to this, and now he's marrying a man. And my point is, and so this is what I want to tell you now. So like to the uncles and aunts out there, you have those conversations now. Mm-hmm. You don't wait until they're engaged.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's a big deal in all this. Like if you do have that kind of relationship, then you should leverage the relationship and say like, hey, like what are you doing? Or like I know you're not called to this. Way before the wedding invite gets there.
Yeah.
So it's funny because we kind of make it moral. Oftentimes I know I'm outside of the picture, but I often say like, this isn't moral, you're just late.
Yeah.
Because this conversation, and then I'll ask like, well, they've been together 3 years. I said, well, have you had a conversation with them 3 years ago?
Yeah.
When he started dating a man?
Yeah.
Right? That's the kind of thing that, just to pray for foresight of like, of my circle of people that I love, like as an uncle or aunt, right? If they're not my own children, or like coworkers, I need to have those conversations now. Mm-hmm. About choosing a spouse that's real in a real marriage, or two, that's like gonna support what I believe.
Yeah.
Right? You don't wait until the wedding.
Right. And I think what can we all do right here, right now is live the kind of life that people don't expect you to come anyway, right? Like I hope that if I'm a grandfather.
Nice job, Luke.
That my grandkids are like, oh yeah, if I don't get married in the church, like grandpa's
not going to be there.
Not because he doesn't love us, but because he's a man of integrity, and he has always said, this is who I am. So I think that's part of it. Like you said, if you're already having those conversations, if you're already living a very authentically Catholic life, people are going to send you the invite. And as I send it, I'm like, they ain't coming.
Yeah.
We don't even have to worry about them on the RSVP. And I think that's okay as well.
So good.
Makes it easy.
OV16.
Let's shift gears here.
I forgot. Sorry. We're over 30.
Yeah, probably this time. We did get 2 in a row, and then we get a little long-winded.
This is a big one, though.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
Okay.
Hopefully it was helpful.
Yeah. So my daughter was listening to Omni Via 15.
Thank you, Bridget.
Yep. And
thanks, Bridget, tuning in.
She reminded me that in that you mentioned that you have chosen a new favorite superpower. So that's where we're going to lead off. But before that, let's give a little time for the editors to throw in the filters and the music. And all that. But here we go. 3, 2, 1. So Father, if you could have any superpower, what would it be?
I would want to eat as much as I can with never feeling full.
And no adverse effects.
Correct. Yeah. No. Always to stay this weight. Mm-hmm.
That's great.
It'd be great.
What was your first vehicle?
Ford Tempo.
Ford Tempo. All right.
Souped Up Tempo. Name the artist.
I don't know.
Yeah. Vanilla Ice.
What does the acronym SCUBA stand for? The gears are turning.
I have no idea.
Self-contained underwater breathing apparatus. Come on, Father. Come on. On a scale of 1 to 10, how good are you at wiffle ball?
6.
All right. What's something in your house you want to get rid of but can't? And Father Colton doesn't.
Father Stunner, no.
Yeah.
No, I want him here. That I wanted to get rid of, but I can't.
Yeah. I don't want you to get anyone in trouble or anything, you know. But.
Yeah. Oh, I'll tell you. I want to get rid of my small yard and get a big one.
Okay. That'd be nice. Favorite city in the U.S. besides the one you live in?
New York.
Okay. Father, why can't we tickle ourselves?
I have no idea. Ask a physician.
What is a comfort item that you had as a child or something you loved about your bedroom that comforted you?
I had all 4 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
Donatello, Leonardo, Raphael, and Michelangelo. Yeah, and they'd watch me sleep.
Action figures?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I'd put them up.
Yeah. Did you have a favorite?
Yeah, Leonardo.
Okay. He's the one with the bow staff. Is that right?
That's Donatello. Leonardo has the swords and he's blue.
Yeah. I was like Michelangelo with the triple thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if you're a boy, you're not a boy until you know that. So get going, guys.
Yeah. Figure it out. How many cups of coffee do you drink per day?
6.
6. Which number is this one?
3.
Okay, so we got 3 more in you today.
I'll have 1 more before lunch and 2 after.
Okay, very good.
6.
All right, and then last one. What is the story behind the time you went the longest without sleep?
The story behind...
Yeah, so when's the longest you ever went without sleep, and how'd you get to that point?
Oh, yeah. So short story, I was a principal, and it was the week before school started, right? So I had in me, so I governed that particular year professional development. I governed it and facilitated much of it. And I also had in me this idea to open up the school year really treating and accommodating the teachers well. And so I made gifts for them and the whole thing. And then I had all sorts of things to do and I didn't go to bed.
Yeah.
So it was a long time I was up.
Oh, yeah.
So is that the story you want? Yeah.
No, that's great.
So yeah, back in my principal days, which kind of broke me in terms of, I think I did that a couple of times.
Yeah.
In a short 10 years.
Yeah.
Literally, I didn't go to bed, and but now I can like survive on little sleep.
Yeah.
I'm not proposing it as a good. It's a reality.
Yeah. It gets harder, I think, to stay up all night.
Yeah.
Than it used to.
And it catches up to you.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there was. It's like the.
Yeah.
It's a bell curve for sure.
When I was 31, okay. 41, not okay.
Yeah. Like I remember as a kid trying to stay up till midnight, and it was so hard. And now I'm like, I can't tell you the last time I've gone to bed before midnight. But now as I approach 40, it's like, yeah, I feel it the next day more and more and more.
Yeah.
So, very good.
16 in the books.
16 in the books. Get your sleep. That's the biggest takeaway from the podcast. Get a good night's sleep.
Weddings, gotta take care of them. So.
But no, if you 2 things that you can throw in the comments. One, weirdest things you've seen at a wedding. Throw those in the comments, and then also, like any other questions about weddings, because tis the season, and so a lot of people are going to a lot of weddings.
See you next week.
Sounds good.
I'm on retreat, so